What's up? What's up? It's Frank. Everything black. We here. Uh, we here. We live tonight. Man, I just want to start out by saying thank y'all for joining me. Um, a clock is right 2 times a day. So whenever you hear preachers or anybody basically make a statement that may be true, the lie has a little truth in it. And so these are the things that kind of mess us up. It mess our thinking up or our intellect by when somebody mixes the truth with the white supremacists or the white supremacists are good at that. They mix a little truth in everything to confusion. So when people, we was raised up in religion, Christianity, most of us, and let me turn the music down a bit. And by us being raised up in church, we was taught to fear God, and or else we would go to hell. So the main reason that a lot of people go to church is to keep from going to hell. You know, that's their main reason. They won't admit it, but that's the main reason. They don't want to go to hell. You know, but when you mix the truth with a lie, I mean, it seems like these things are right, but really they're not. And I'm gonna try to help y'all understand that here with when I go through some of these videos. I want you to see how they take something that could be the truth and they use it to take advantage of you. A pimp usually know that his female is vulnerable. Uh, she wants things. Every woman wants things. And through him, she can see things happening. Because pimps don't usually want to sleep with their hoes. They want their minds, right? A preacher wants your mind. Most of them don't want to sleep with you. They just want your mind because if they got your mind, they got everything else. See? So I want y'all, as I play these videos, to really listen to these sassy pulpit pimps because they very sassy, they very feminine. You know, when they manipulate you, these are feminine, manipulative men, so-called men of God, so-called of God. So when somebody like these people give you the truth, know that every clock, a broken clock, is right twice a day. So we're gonna start out with this video. Let me share my screen with you guys and ladies. Um, let's start out with Jasmine and this toxic preacher right here. Let's start out with them. Then we're gonna go to the Marvin Sapp thing. Now this preacher is from Dallas. First of all, let me get it on the screen here so y'all can see it. Prior use to April Chapman, Facebook, YouTube, uh, all the other uh, social medias. This is for educational purposes only. I wasn't trying to do this on Jasmine Crockett today, but I caught this video on the way in, and I want y'all to hear and see how politics and hold on a minute, we go back. How politics, religion, and works together. How these people come together to manipulate the black population. Now, I think April is a conservative Republican Christian because I don't hear her too much talking about the conservative people, the Republican people. But she goes in on the Democrats and black religion people. She goes in. And I caught this show, Jasmine and this preacher, Freddie Haynes. I heard about Freddie Haynes, but I don't know too much about him. But now I do. I mean, all these guys are part of the Boule. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Boule, but it's the fracking, the AKAs and people like that, the HBCU people. These are niggeros that's trained to work with white supremacy. They have already surrendered. These are the niggas who told you, where you gonna go if you leave the plantation? Where you gonna go? These are them niggas. Jasmine Crockett is that nigga. Okay. Now I want y'all to listen to this part. I'm gonna play part of this. Y'all need to go to April Chapman show to hear the full video. I mean, she got some good stuff, and she talk a good game. You know, she give you some good game when she talk. But I don't subscribe to no party. It's white supremacy and it's the religion of white supremacy. So anytime you're dealing with religion, you're dealing with white supremacy because that's the religion. So anyway, let's get started.
Who called me in the middle of that, but nevertheless. So yes, big ups to Freddie Haynes.
We often major in what Jesus minored in. Have you ever read the gospel and heard Jesus say anything about homosexuality? I'm with Kelly Brown.
Did you hear that? He said, did you hear anything about Jesus talking about homosexuality? I mean, come on, man. When when you first heard about homosexuality, if you was in a church, that was about the Sodom and Gomorrah uh, thing in the Bible. That's part of the first thing you have ever read about homosexual. That's about when Noah was finna build the ark, or I think he had completed building the ark and the flood was over. And I think his son or somebody. Trying to think of the name of the guy, but anyway, he was trying to tell the people, look, y'all need to turn to God, or I'm gonna destroy the angel God sent was sent to, I think, Noah's son. Can't think remember his name, but God was gonna destroy this town called Solomon and Gomorrah because it was so much corruption. There was a lot of homosexuality going on. Men sleeping with men, men sleeping with beasts. I mean, they would just turn up and turned out. This is the thing that God was against. Now you have preachers who have been told by white supremacy to allow this in the church. This LGBT thing. They get donations from the government for doing this. These preachers are filthy rich from donations. Not only do they get the offerings, they get donations, and they don't have to report it because it's tax free. I think it's called a 413B or something like that for these churches, or a 501c3, one of them. You guys can look it up. This is something that these preachers get. That's how they start. They mega churches. And they're charismatic too. They can persuade you to a pimp. These are pimps. But I call them sassy pimps because of the way they act and what they talk and what they talk about. This man is in a church talking about homosexuality, trying to persuade his church to deal with that. But he downplayed it by saying we can't even deal with sexuality in the church. First of all, why do you even go there? I'm pretty sure there's some kids or children in that church. And for the first time, they listening to this man who their parents are listening to, who's controlling their home in a sense. If your mom and your dad are listening to a man, he's pretty much the leader of your household. That's why I tell men, unless you are really learning something to improve your resources at that church, there is no reason to go. In church, you never get to the end of the truth. They just stretch it and stretch it and stretch it. Remember the days when they used to tell us Jesus coming back? You don't even hear that no more. In the early 70s and early 80s, that's all you heard. Jesus coming. You better get yourself together because Jesus coming. These sassy pulpit pimps don't talk about that no more. They talk about LGBTQ, and you need to accept it. Now, think about it. Your kids is hearing that from him for the first time. Now you and your kids got to go home and discuss it. He's opening up your children to think that they may be gay. They may like the same sex. And it starts here at the church. Then he gonna go to the white supremacist school and learn that at the school. Especially when the Democrats are in control because that's what they push. They push that agenda on your kids. I just heard the other day that the government during the uh, Biden administration gave $600,000 to an organization. They donated this money, government money, for gay, for transgender men who experience menstruation, which is a period. They were studying whether a transgender man can have a period. $600,000 study. This is under your Democrat control. This is under the religion of white supremacy from Sassy Pulpit Pimps. Now listen to this man.
Douglas, black folk can't even deal with homosexuality because we got issues with sexuality. And because we've got issues with sexuality, we can't have a healthy discussion about homosexuality.
Because he is.
Look, man. Out of all the shit that go on in church, the last thing we need to be discussing is some homosexual shit. None of that is constructive. Nothing dealing with homosexuality is constructive. You see, 80% of black women go to church, Christian churches. %80 in there are single moms. The black men have long left the church. The real brothers, we don't do that. We don't deal with that. We don't even go there. The real brothers know it's some bullshit. We know that, man. Now that's your brother Freddie Haynes. You know, the Dallas Sassy Pulpit Pimp. If y'all want to see some more about this, I believe Jasmine Crockett is LGBTQ. She has never been proposed to according to her. You dig what I'm saying? Bernie Bernice put this woman on. Bernie Bernice Johnson, I believe, is LGBTQ. This is her protege. See? Just go do some research. Your guys will know and put the connection together. Okay, this is the truth show. Everything black. We deal in black issues. We talk about black religion, politics, everything black, all black issues. This woman is a part of the Wolves and Sheep clothing group. This is a sassy mammy. This your black sassy mammy. She's in a lot of trouble right now because she called the suspected white supremacist Abbott Hot Wheels, talked about his disability. And her own people is about to go against her, did go against her on that issue. You see? But we ain't talking about Jasmine tonight. We talking about these pulpit pimps. Sassy pulpit pimps. Now let me get off that one. I just wanted you to hear some of the bullshit these motherfuckers say. Let's go to the next issue. This Sassy Ricky Smiley. Hold on. Damn, did I get rid of the Ricky Smiley one? Let me get it back up, y'all. Well, let's go to his show first. I wanted to get him on first, but let's go over to his show where he's talking to the preacher who told them to close the door. This is for educational purposes only, fair use, YouTube, Facebook. So here we go. Okay, y'all can't see it. Hold on. Hold on 1 minute. 1 minute. Get back on my show. Let me go over here to, where is he at? Marvin Sapp. Let me cancel this. Get back over here. I think it should show now. Okay, we go with this one. Okay, here we go.
A clip that, a whole lot of people have seen. Sadly, one of the things that has happened is, people have created a narrative that absolutely not true. Number one, the narrative was created that I raised my church, that I kept people at my church hostage until my church, that, I made them give $40,000 and I wouldn't allow them to leave until they gave it to me. And to be honest with you, it's absolutely false.
Yeah.
One thing was taken last year. This was a service that happened last August. Number two, church that happened, international meeting. Churches in the country, all over the world came together for the purpose of celebrating the Lord Jesus Christ. People took saying, shut the doors. Understand, I never locked the doors.
Yeah.
I said, shut the doors. Shutting the people. They've taken issue with me. And I can honestly say, looking at the video was a little.
God damn it.
The first video I want to share.
Hold on, y'all.
It is.
Man, what the hell I do that for? Hold on, y'all. Let me get back to the. Let me get back to where we were. Give me 1 second. One second. One second. Y'all. I don't know why. Okay, here we go. All right, let me fix this again. Dang it, man. Sorry about that, guys. We're going to get it right here. Here we go. Let me push it on down where he was talking at. I don't even know if y'all heard it, so we're gonna let me start it up.
And the death threats on you and your family. Well, let me just start. Just whatever way you want to start. Let me just start by saying first, Ricky, I thank you for this opportunity. Yes. You know, I thank you for the opportunity to be able to come on your show and for you to use your platform to give me a chance to just, you know, add some context. Yeah. Some context and clarity to, you know, people that is absolutely the money at my church, that I kept the people at my church hostage until I raised $40,000 for me. That narrative that been shared, that locked folks up at my church, that, you know, I made and I allowed them until they get me. And to be honest with you, that is absolutely one. August 10 last year, the service happened last August. Number two, it didn't happen. It happened at a country, all over the world came together for the purpose of celebrating the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. People took issue with me saying, shut the doors. Understand, I never said lock the doors. Yeah. Shutting doors mean that people still have the ability to go in.
This is what he's saying. But I'm pretty sure y'all done saw the video by now. He told those ushers to close the doors, close the doors, close the doors. I'm pretty sure, I'm thinking that he did use the word shut the doors, which we all go to church. If somebody else speaking and they say shut the door, that means you ain't going nowhere. Because if that was true, then if what he's saying is true, that means you can go in and out if you want to. Why would you even tell people to shut the doors or close the doors or lock the doors? Now, you can make out of that what you want. That's the issue they trying to punch in. You know what I'm saying? Forget all that. Your tone, the way you told the people, you're lying, because why would you tell people to shut the doors if they can do whatever they want to do? One of my friends was telling me that they meant like all you had to do was hold one finger up and you can go in and out of church anytime, right? Okay, I'll take that, but this man clearly told them to shut the door. Why shut the doors? So nobody could go in or out. Close the doors, shut the door, all mean the same thing. Lock the doors mean the same thing. Nobody need to move, right? Then he started telling people, I see 1,000 here on TV, 1,000 in the church. We need to raise $20,000 more dollars, right? Because like you said, the church got a budget, right? And I'm the pimp, the church, the preacher's the pimp. The audience, the church member, y'all the hoes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all the hoes. Because y'all listen to a pimp talk. Y'all follow instructions. Y'all are sheep. You weak. You have to come here to get strength from me. God put me in charge of y'all to put pimp pressure on y'all. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at things in reality. These people don't give a damn about you. because he said I got millions of people who follow me. I don't read all they comment. This nigga do not care. I think I was reading about somewhere some chick was so-called stalking him. She was a doctor, right? The lady ended up dying, uh, running off the road. They said it was a apparent suicide, but this man was trying to get rid of her because he got tired of her sending him all kind of letters and things trying to hook up with him and all that type of shit. We don't know whether they hooked up or not one night, but whatever happened, we do know that this lady ended up dying. And his other female he had, I think his wife died of pancreatic cancer or some kind of something to do with that uh, colon cancer, I believe. Um, anyway, rest in peace to her. No dish on nothing. No member of his family. No dish. No nothing like that. But I'm just saying, you know, black people, we got to stop putting these people in charge, man. You got to stop believing that you helping God. You ain't helping God giving no donation. You're not gonna get no certain blessing from that. Now, I don't go against what you believe, but sometimes you got to hear the truth for what it is. A clock is right twice a day. A broken clock is right twice a day. You know, these guys are just here to pimp you, to take what little you gather and continue to take and give you hope. If you find an organization with a lot of black women in it, most of the time you're just selling you hope. Most black women, they deal in that because that's an emotional thing. That's why God has given you men. Men don't deal in hope. We deal in reality. And it's a sad thing for a man to go around here hoping somehow. Most black men, we make things happen. You know what I'm saying? The real ones. We make it happen. We turn we turn diamonds into, we turn dirt into diamonds. We do that type of stuff. Um, these dudes are here to take from you and to get you to believe that homosexuality is the way. That's destroying the family right there, man. That's destroying the family right there. Two men can't be no is not a family. Two women with a kid is not a family. A man and a woman and children are family. Reproduction, controlled reproduction, normal, natural reproduction. This other stuff they doing is unnatural. Two men, two women, that's unnatural. Him and this guy and this Jamal Bryant used to have so-called orgy parties. I think Jamal Bryant took this dude's female girlfriend at one time. He had a little chick that Jamal is now married to. These guys was buddies. Uh, Jamal was sponsored by uh, what's the preacher name? I'm getting a brain for it right now. He died of so-called cancer. Um, I can't think of his name right now. What was that preacher name? Anyway, the brother dead right now. He had a mega church there in Georgia, and I think Jamal has taken over his church. Dang, I can't believe I got a brain fart on that. But anyway, this dude was known to have slept with and sponsored a lot of black men in the ministry. Um, and all these men have been to these HBCUs and are AKAs or whatever the hell these organizations come from at these colleges, these frat uh, groups. Women are AKAs, I believe, and these are frat brothers. These are the Boulay brothers. They have been joined together to act for white supremacists against us. These are your Stevens. And most of these guys, if you notice how this guy is sitting, he's sitting real sassy. Look at his hand right there. And I'm pretty sure if they had a suit on, they were sitting on a couch, his legs would be crossed. You know what I'm saying? Like a bunch of women. These are sassy pulpit pimps. You have got to remove yourself from these type people. I mean, this is what keep us stuck in the same shit we get every single year, every single day. We get the same bullshit. These people are not gonna fight for black people. They're not gonna fight for your reparation. They'll talk about homosexuality before they talk about reparation. Now, ain't that a trip? Ain't that something right there? I mean, we can all unite on reparations, but we not gonna unite on no damn homosexuality. We're not gonna unite on LGBT shit. We're not gonna unite on immigrant shit. You know, come on. Anyway, these were just two little clips. I don't want to go any further with this, but I do want y'all to see. I did want y'all to see how they take a little truth and they bend it and they twist it and they continue to go. I'm gonna go on another couple of 3 minutes here, just so you can see some of the bullshit he says. And Ricky Smiley with his he's a sassy little son gun too. That's why he always play old women, cause he sound like an old sassy woman. So just listen.
In and out. They've taken issue with my tone, and I can honestly say, looking at the video, maybe I was a little more assertive than I should have been, and I can apologize for that. I can apologize for that, but three things I need to make sure people, the $40,000, if it was $40,000,
that's what he should have did in the first place. He should have apologized to everybody for being rude, being assertive, and left it alone. But because he wants you to think that he's more important than you, he have to go into detail. He could have left this alone right there. He could have been about 10 minutes into this thing and left it alone. But he decided to go on.
Was never given to me. That money was raised for the purpose of taking care of the budget for their conference, not Marvin Sapp. Number two, it didn't happen at my church. It happened in Baltimore. Number three, people take issue with me being firm with the ushers. Anybody that goes to church, ushers one-on-one, that's the first thing they teach you as being an usher, is that there are 3 times you don't walk. You don't walk during the altar call. You don't walk during prayer. You don't walk during the offering. One of the reasons being is because of the sacredness of the moment. But it's also about security. As a pastor, we understand and we know that.
God damn it, I did it again, man.
Our next guest has been all over the internet lately, and he's here with us today to set the record straight. He's an award.
Okay, let's see. Y'all see that? Yeah. Okay, here we go. It's the part that everybody talking about. Okay.
He was at the Pentecostal convention in Baltimore. But let's not get it twisted. People don't care where the service was. They really just didn't like what he was saying at all. They don't like what he said, how he said it, and what he did. He most definitely rubbed a lot of people on social media the wrong way.
They've taken issue with my tone. And I can honestly say, looking at the video, maybe I was a little more assertive than I should have been. And I can apologize for that.
Honestly, I don't think there's.
Yeah, like I say, this is the wrong video. Let me get this crap off. I gotta go back and finish it. I'm just going in the program. Oh man, this shit. Let me just end the program right here. But like I said, y'all, these are sassy pulpit pimps. This has been going on since I was a kid. I'm 50 something. So we've been dealing with this since I was a kid. I don't want this to continue. And I know y'all don't want it to continue. Man, just pull away from this stuff. If you can, if you just want to just stick with it. All we're going to do is get another 50 years of this bullshit. If y'all women keep taking y'all kids to this shit, to this entertainment shit show, because that's all it is. At the end of the day, if you good in your heart, if you straight with God, you gonna get the good things that's out there for you. That's after the afterlife. You'll get that. It ain't no use to worry. You don't have to go to church no 365 days a year to see what you're gonna get after death. Just do everything you can right and be logical and do things the logical way. Be honest. Do your shit right. Do whatever you gotta do right. Just try to walk the right way. Improve yourself every day. Um, you know, make the right decisions. If you make the wrong decision, just build on it. Restart over. Uh, Everything starts from failure. You know, continue on. Get better. Don't stop. That's all I can say. Everything Black. Join me again. Like and subscribe.